So what happened with you?
So you recall in, what was it, August, September 2020, I did the trip to all around the world
Yes.
for the... So I'm
Schlepping babies.
schlepping IVF, embryos, eggs, sperm, all around the world to different clinics. And as I'm leaving Australia, this should have been the red light for me for this trip. As I'm leaving Australia, the Border Force kind of, they use their finger, come over this way, son. And they interviewed me for about half an hour. And I said to them, how can I make it so that after everything was clear and everything, how can I make it that, you guys already know me, we already have a relationship? And they said, you can become an Australian trusted trader. So I thought, I'll look it up. And it's part of the Australian Border Force, which is under the Home Affairs Department.
Yeah.
And today, finally, 18 months later,
Yeah.
because they were shut down over COVID and they couldn't do it over
They've been busy.
Zoom.
There's now a backlog.
Yeah, there's now a backlog.
Yeah.
They were not busy at all during COVID. So now they showed up at my door. We organised...
Unannounced or...?
No, we had it planned for the last month, whatever it is.
Okay.
And I didn't expect it. I opened the door and there's 2 Australian Border Force guys in their uniforms. And I thought, maybe a suit or not even necessarily a tie, a shirt, whatever, with a little badge. These guys, you get to the airport and there are the Border Force people in their blue uniforms.
Yeah.
That's what I had at my front door. And we went through all the steps and processes of becoming a trusted trader.
Okay, so so it's basically just an administrative thing from this point out, yeah?
There is partial administrative and partial, like the security that I go through in order to perform the job. So how do we know that I'm not smuggling drugs inside of the canister, for example?
Yep.
At what point do I ever leave it anywhere? Do I ever have it out of my hands? Do I see them putting the actual IVF material, reproductive material, inside the canister? What does it look like? And frankly, I've got it on me all the time, and it is impossible for it to be tampered with. I mean, apart from the cap being locked, the things they put in are virtually transparent, and they're tiny.
They're like straws.
That's right. They're like straws. You've seen it, and you've carried it yourself.
Well, that's right, because I did a couple of jobs for you.
Yeah. Where did you get? You took to Adelaide.
I went to Adelaide, and I went to Gold Coast.
Oh, did you go to the Gold Coast too? How
Yeah.
good is that?
Yeah, I did the Gold Coast run in 3 days?
Wow. That's
Melbourne,
extraordinary.
Gold Coast, Melbourne.
That was back in the time when we didn't have anything better to do.
We had absolutely
nothing to
do. The best, and I've told a few people that I managed to pick up these jobs during COVID. It was great. It just sort of gave me something to do, even if it was just sitting in a car for hours and hours and hours on end.
Yeah.
And explaining to people how we effectively had to convince the South Australian Border Police that I was going to the Northern Territory. Yet here I was rocking up at the South Australian border at like 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning in a car that sounds like the world's about to come to an end.
I must be thankful that your car's actually got the distance. Baruch Hashem.
You know what?
What?
Get out.
It's great.
God
was on your side for that one.
You know what? My cars, once I do spend the time with them,
No, I
they
know.
do run.
I'm just joking.
They do run reliably.
The
one to Adelaide, that was really interesting because I rocked up at the border, and there was a cast of thousands in terms of coppers.
Oh,
There
I
were
thought you meant people
motorbikes.
waiting to go
No,
through the
there was
border.
no one. There was no one there.
Yeah.
Coppers all over the joint, motorbikes, cars, 4-wheel drives, a whole bonfire, like massive. I felt as though I'd interrupted the party, basically.
Right. So they were protecting their border, but they had nothing to do, basically.
They had nothing to do.
This is the big problem. This is the biggest problem over the last 18 months. I could have done jobs, but there are so many of these officials with so much time on their hands that they will. There was no one in the airports. So they'll pick you out and say, come on, let's have a chat. Because I've got nothing better to do.
Also because there's a lot of other people they want to have a chat with.
Yeah.
but they can't be seen to be profiling.
Okay, so they have to interview everyone.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, especially if I'm traveling domestically.
Yeah.
Not that I ever travel internationally, but on the odd occasion I do have to jump on an aeroplane. I will get pulled over for the random bomb checking and screening.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they've got to stop the big white guy in a cowboy hat.
Yep.
Just so the brown people don't get suspicious.
We're going to get in trouble.
If that one struck a nerve with you, give us a call on 90692087.
We're in trouble with that.
Oh, we're in a huge amount of trouble. You could also leave, if you want to comment on the live stream that we're doing, feel free to leave a comment there. I do glance over to the left every now and again to see if anybody's left anything on for us.
Page.
But as per usual, Rabbi Pesach, it's really the same as if you and I were just sitting at the kitchen table somewhere having a chat.
You'd have to be, if you want to get mixed up in this conversation, you'd have to be very strong and confident in your own personal sort of level, as in.
Where you actually stand on a topic.
Yeah, people are going to look at this and they're going to say, what are you talking about, brown people? Or I absolutely agree with you. In Israel, there is profiling. And they pick out they pick out the people who don't look
the people who look most likely to blow up a bus.
That's it.
That's what they do.
That's it. That's what they do.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, and they're lambasted for it. But in many cases,
it works for them.
It works, and the security forces around the world look on with interest as well, even though they won't tell you.